So now we know what is iterable and what is iterator, right? So now we are going to implement the basic for loop in Python. So let me just quickly go and write that code and I will explain that code. So in this video we are going to talk about some looping concept in Python, how we can use it, and we will talk about some other concept like what is iterator and what is iterable in Python and how we can use that. So at the end of the video we will see how to create our own simple for loop in Python, so stay tuned for that. If you are coming from some other programming languages like C or Java, you might be confused with a Python for loop because it works differently. So let's take an example of a C language, right? So in C language we have a for loop. We do some initialization at the first and we'll define some conditions and we'll do increment and decrement. So this is a way we can define a for loop in C language, right? In Python we use a for loop in a different way, right? So actually Python doesn't have a for loop like same as like a C and Java. So you should be familiar with the execution order of this for loop, right? So the order of this for loop would be first we'll do initialization and that only happens once and we'll check the conditions, right? So if that condition is true, we'll go and execute the statements within this for loop. And once these statements get executed, we'll go and increment or decrement our variables and then we'll come again into this condition part, right? So this is a cycle which goes for a for loop. So this is a traditional way of doing a for loop in C and Java, right? Now, if you want to mimic the same thing in Python, right? So you can use a while loop if you want to mimic the same behavior like C and Java. So here we are doing initialization and here we are just checking the condition. So we are doing the initialization only once and we are doing condition checks. Until this condition get false, we'll execute these statements, right? And here we are just printing, accessing the elements from the list using indexing, right? So list is a sequence type which can be used to access the element via indexing. And here what we are doing an increment or decrement operations. So you can read the things. First initialization, then we are checking the condition and we are doing increment or decrement. So if you want to mimic the for loop, a traditional for loop in Python, you can use a while loop. So there is a very important thing which you should know. So this while loop will not work with every iterables. So here we have a list. So in this case, list is a sequence type. So we are getting a length of it. So if we have a set, for example, if we have a set and we try to iterate the same set with this while loop. So in this case, if I go and run this, you will get an error, right? So here we are getting a type error. So this while loop will not work with every iterable. All right. So this is a very important point you should keep in note. If you are coming from some other programming languages, you might do something like this as well. Right. So I often see a new Python programmer attempts to recreate a traditional for loop in very slightly and different way. If you have used some other programming languages where you loop through using an indexing, you could do something like this. But in Python, it totally works differently. I remember initially when I was learning Python, I was used to do something like this. So what we will get the indexes of these particular items one by one, and we are just accessing the item from this list using that index, right? If you go and print this, you will see we are getting a Python, Go, C and Java, all the items from this list, right? So this is very creative way of doing a for loop. So there is a very simpler way which we can use in Python, and that is the usual way. You will see more Python programmers are using that format of for loop. So now let me just go and modify this for loop to make it simple, right? So instead of range and length, we can just simply define for item in any iterables. In this case we are having a length, right? And here we don't need to access the items using indexing. We can just simply print item. So in this way, if we go and run this, we will getting the same output. You will see this approach in all over the Python examples, because this is a way we use a for loop in Python. So suppose you have a situation where you need a indexing with the item. So in this case, what we can do? So there is a built-in method which we can use called enumerate, right? So we can use the enumerate method to get the indexes and the item at the same time. What I will do, I will just create a for loop from the scratch. So in this case, what enumerate function will do, it will go and iterate through all the items within this list, and it will return the index of these items and the item itself. So we will get index in index variable and we will get item in item variables, and we are just printing it, right? So if we go and run this code, you are going to see we are getting a index 0, we have a Python, index 1, we have a Go, right? And so on and so forth. Instead of using two variables, we can also use a single variable itself, right? So in this case, what it will do, it will just return a tuple. So enumerate function return a tuple, right? So here you can see we are getting a tuple with the indexing and the item, right? So if we go and print this, you are seeing we are getting items in tuple format. So in first item we are getting indexes, in the second position we are getting the items itself, right? So enumerate function we can use if we want to get the indexes plus items. Now let's see, if you don't want to start the indexing from 0, you want to start indexing from 1. So you can also provide us some extra parameter in the enumerate function that is called a start. If you provide a start equals to 1, it will start indexing from 1, right? If we go and run this code, you will see we are now getting indexing from 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and the items, right? So we can provide an extra argument to start from where we want to start our indexing. For simplicity, what I will do, I will just provide another variable called index, and we will just print it like this here. All right. So now suppose if you have a situation where you want to iterate multiple iterables. So suppose I have two lists, for example, let me create another list. Right. So suppose we have a two list and we want to iterate these two lists. And if you want to iterate these two lists, right? So in Python, so how we can use that? So in this case, there is a one function which we can use to iterate multiple iterables at once, right? So there is a function called a zip, right? So we can use a zip, and here we can provide our two lists, lengths and students, right? And here I'm providing lengths and a student. Right. So what we are trying to do here, we are iterating two lists at once, right? So we are using a zip method and we are passing two lists, right? If we go and run this code, so here we are getting John is good at Python, Alex is good at Go, right? Coding Buddy is good at C, and that is not true. And dude is good at Java, right? Like other programming languages, we have a break and continue statement as well, right? If you are using a while loop or if you are using a for loop, if you want to terminate the execution of your loops, you can use a break statement, right? So in this example, what we are trying to do, we are just trying to loop through this particular list, and we are just checking if that list is containing Python, right? So in this case, we will print just found and will break through this loop. If we go and run this, you will see we are just printing found. We are not printing any other elements, right? Suppose I want to check C++, right? If you go and run this, you will see we are printing Python, Go, C and Java, right? Because we don't have that element inside this list, so we will not encounter this break statement, right? And same way we can also use a continuous statements, right? So continuous statements work something like, if that condition is get true and it encounters that continuous statement, it will skip all the statement. So if I'm using a continuous statement within this for loop, right, and here I'm using C. So now let me just quickly go and run this, and you will see we are printing Python, we are printing Go, we are printing found, we are printing Java. So here you can see we are not printing C, right? Because once it encounters this continuous statement, it moves that execution pointer to here in for loop, right? We can also define else here, and we will just printed all items from list, right? So now observe one thing, if I go and run this, you will see we are just printing Python, Go and found. We are not printing this else statement. If I go and comment this part, you will see we will execute the else part as well. So here you can see we are getting all the items from the list, and it also printing the message from else. So now let's go and talk about the iterable and iterators. So the first thing is anything that can be passed to a iter method without any errors called iterable, right? So we have a iter method, right? So here you can see we have this iter method which accept the iterable and return the iterators, right? So the first thing is anything that can be passed to this iter method without any errors called iterables. So anything that can be passed to a next method, we have another method called next, right? So anything that can be passed to this next method without any error, except there is a one exception which we will get, stop iteration, right? So that indicates all the items we have iterated through. If all the items are iterated, we will get that stop iteration exception. So anything that can be passed to this next method without any error called iterators. Now let's go and create our own for loop in Python, right? So now we know what is iterable and what is iterator, right? So now we are going to implement the basic for loop in Python. So let me just quickly go and write that code, and I will explain that code. Alright, so here we have implemented our own for loop in Python, right? So we have just defined a function called foreach, and here we are expecting some iterables, right? And we are passing that iterable to iter method, right? So remember we have talked about anything which we can pass in this iter method called iterable. So we are just passing the iterable to this iter method, and this iter method will return the iterator, right? So we will get a iterator by any object which we can pass to this next function. It is called a iterator. So we are passing a iterator to this next function. So what this next function do, it return the next item from the iterables, right? For example, we have this list, right? So this list is iterable. So we will pass this list in this function, and here we will pass this list to iter method. So once we pass this list to this iter method, it will return the iterator of this list, right? So we will get a iterator of list, and here we are passing this iterator to the next function, right? So get the next element each time. So first we'll get Python, then we get Go, then we'll get C, and then we'll get a Java. Once we extract all the items from this list, so there won't be any other items left in this list, so we will get a stop iteration exception. So as soon as we will get a stop iteration exception, we'll break from this loop, right? And here we are just printing all the items which we are getting from this next function. So let me just quickly call this function and show you our for each with the triples. If you go and run this, you will see we are getting all the items present inside this list, right? So suppose I have a set. In this example, I am converting this list to set. Now if we go and run this code, our for loop is also working for a set as well, right? So you can see this is the same implementation, the basic implementation of a for loop which is defined in Python, right? So here you have created your own for loop. Let me just comment this part. So when you do for item in lengths and just simply print the item, right? If we go and run this code, you will see we are getting these outputs, right? So here we are using a set. That's why you might see the different output, because set is unordered collection in Python, right? So let me just quickly go and make it a list, right? So if you go and run this, you will see we are getting Python, Go, and C and Java. And if we comment this for loop and use our own for loop, you will see we will get the same output. So there won't be any differences. Here you can see we are getting Python, Go, SE and Java, right? So instead of this for loop, you can use your own for loop. So if you have any doubt, question or concern, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try my level best to answer them as soon as possible, right? So here is a program which we have completed from our last video. So we have seen the basic implementation of this game in our last video, and in this video we have just improved that program with our looping concept and the conditional statements. And this code will be also available in the GitHub, and I will provide that link in description. Okay, so it's asking me for enter any integer from 1 to 20. Let me add 10, and here it's saying no, it's little higher than that, right? So the number which we have provided, and we have only 2 attempts left, so it's, if it is higher than that, I will provide 17. It is greater than 10 but less than 17, and we have only 1 attempt, so let me try 15. I hope I'm right. Okay, yes, so I guessed it right. So here we are getting congratulations, you have guessed it right. Now let me just quickly go and run this code once again. So if I just clear the screen and run the code again. Now this time if I'm providing something like 15, it's saying no, it's little lower than that. If I provide 9, okay, it's also lower than 9. Oh my god. So I only have a 1 attempt left. Let's provide 6. No, I missed it. So the number which system was generated was 7, and I lost that game. So game is over. The right number was 7. I need to guess that right. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and share this video with your friends. And yeah, that's it from this video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye and take care.